so that he can manage the little monies that he has.
Okay. All right, let's quickly take a break. And when we come back from the break, I'll be asking you what you think as the ministerial nominees go to the Senate to be screened. What kind of questions? Is it the normal bar and go? Let's quickly take a moment. We'll be right back. By about 105 billion naira. And there's some other things that we can do to help small businesses in our
There is. Like one of the things we found out was most of our businessmen do not have the capacity to do a business plan. We have very good policies, but be consistent with those policies.
Whether it's a solo business or it's a big brand, it's the same thing. You might not necessarily have to attend a business school, but you need knowledge to run a business.
The federal government cannot do it alone, and then the state government cannot do it alone. So there has to be a synergy, and the synergy must be a very productive one.
Adetokunbo Kayode, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, former Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 4 portfolios: culture and tourism, defense, justice. What was the last one? Labor and productivity. All right, just before I allow you to answer the question I asked earlier, let's take a few comments coming in on Twitter. Deji Philip is saying, no government runs without programs and plans. This government is stabilizing your economy after JJ's bleeding. That's Jonathan's. What else do you call a plan? While Augustine Wada is saying, while the late Saraki groomed the youth to succeed him, the Ogbe's would rather take the slot meant for youth. What an irony. Walex is saying, I agree with the former minister, he's talking sense. Promise is saying, from secondary school and not recycling the same people and getting the same result. While Lushagu Dada, okay, it appears that AIT is becoming obsessed with the ministerial list. Come off it, Lushagun. That's the topic everywhere around the country right now. Let's take this. Ejiga Friday saying, I was a bit disappointed when the list was unveiled, but I expect the Senate to do their job. Ayuba is saying it is time for our senators to stop using the Senate as a stage for settling personal scores. Sam is saying performance is all we need now at the moment, old or young. Akinemo is saying, I feel the youth have not been taken into account in the preparation of the ministerial list. Youths tend to be productive. Alfine is saying, if that's President Buhari wants to change Nigeria, he should ignore the already corrupt guys and bring in new guys. Laz is saying, those advocating for youth inclusion in President Buhari's cabinet should please offer suggestions of likely names of youth fit for office. A lot and lot and lot. Okay, Majestic President is saying on Twitter, I am in conformity with your guest, with what your guest is saying. Is very right and very intellectual. He's a lawyer, a senior advocate at that. Okay, Reverend Philip is saying, approve people they don't know but shouldn't add extra constitutional condition. A lot of comments coming in. Aini is saying, does Nigeria have any economic principles? Wise Baba is saying, still don't understand why Professor Pat Utomi's name is missing. Who is going to be finance minister? That's $1 million question. There are a lot of comments coming in, but those are just the few I can take. So, what do you think? We just have about 3 minutes or so.
About the...
What do you think about the Senate? Yes, because all eyes will be on them. Someone actually said on Twitter now that they shouldn't use, the senators shouldn't use that as a personal vendetta to settle personal scores.
One thing I'm sure of is that every person on that ministerial list, every ministerial appointee would like to take a bow.
That's if you leave them, they would like to take a bow.
They would love to take a bow. I would have loved to take a bow myself, but I think it would be a great disservice to them, because some of them actually will have good ideas to present, ideas to sell to Nigeria. And don't forget, that stage, the Senate on that day when you appear there, it may be the maybe the biggest stage one was ever in his life before then. For me, the biggest stage I've ever been was when I appeared before the Senate, and I spent about maybe 45 minutes to 1 hour there. People are watching me all over the world.
Isn't it more difficult even for the ministerial nominees since they don't have portfolios attached to them? I'm wondering what will be going through their minds right now. I'm wondering how Ifashola is preparing for the screening. I'm wondering how Ikemi Adeosun is preparing, because I really don't even know what they will ask me. I don't know what ministry I would go into. So, you know, I must have prepared for aviation. They're asking me questions on culture. So I'm actually in the minds of those nominees. What will they be preparing for?
for me,
or they're
on their own on that. But I expect that those who have an across-the-board knowledge should not bother. I mean, it's not even a matter of preparing for it. Because any person could ask you any question. One, the senators do not know which cabinet you may be taken to. Even if you are taken to cabinet A today, the president by December may say, okay, wait a minute, I would rather have you in cabinet B. So you should just be able to have a world knowledge about things and also be able to have a couple of some little original thinking.
And lastly, what do we expect from the Senate themselves? Because the Senate has also been bashed in the past that the quality of questions, you know, I've actually even said it on this platform before, that we need intelligent questioning and, you know, knowledge even from them. No
doubt about that. But one thing you must understand is that the traditions, the hallowed traditions of Senate is that if you're a former senator, and I think about 3 of them there, and you're a former member of the House, the traditions demand that you take a bow. That will happen. I don't expect Aisha to be questioned or Sirika to be questioned. These are senators who distinguish themselves working there, but they have their own pedigree. They'll present their case, let the world know them, but they'll have to take a bow. But all the other people should just be prepared. They'll be ready to think deep, to also be original. They should be able to also be honest. Tell us what do you think is wrong with our system, what do you think we should be doing?
Okay.
How do we make this country better? Look, if the country is better, we all enjoy.
Thank you very much for coming on today's edition of the show, and it's been nice having you, at least looking at this ministerial list from the eye of a former minister. You know, for many Nigerians that have not been ministers, they come out and comment and all of that, but you've just told us the hard truth, or the ugly one, so to speak. So many thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
All right, I've been speaking with Adetokunbo Kayode, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, a former Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Tourism, Defense, Justice, Culture, and Culture, Tourism, Labor and Productivity. That's the much we can take on today's edition of the program. Thank you all for being a part of the show. But please keep at it again tomorrow, same time. We will be here. Be the best you can be and be the change you want to see. I am Nancy Ilo. God bless Nigeria. Bye now.